Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister's Guidance. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people and huge welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. I'm going to do a slightly different reading today. Over the last several weeks, I've been undertaking the personal reading, so humbly thank you for the trust and respect that you've put into myself and the guides in regards to those. But I have noticed there's two particular cards from my Lightseers deck that have been popping up over and over again. And when I reflected on this last night, when I was thinking about what to read on, I did realize that a lot of the readings that Naren has brought forward, the messaging he's brought forward in the extended cards reading, have mirrored uh, almost perfectly what these two cards signify. So I thought I'd go through these two particular cards. If you have had a personal reading, you'll recognize them. If you are yet to have a personal reading, I can almost guarantee that they will come up. But I'll talk through them today, and we'll just go through the process. And I'm pretty sure you'll find some revelations in this particular reading. So the first card that seems to pop up in the personal readings is this one here. It's the Four of Cups. In the Rider-Waite deck, it's the dude sitting under the tree with the three cups in front of him and a fourth cup being presented out of the cloud. So very similar imagery, but what I do find is this imagery in this deck is just a little bit more intense. So I call this card my would've, should've, could've card that comes forward. This is, and it's a cup, so it's about emotions. So what I find with this particular card when it comes out, it's very much you've got this figure here sitting despondently, looking at these three empty cups of what ifs. This is, to me, these cups here represent the past. If only I had bought that house, if only I hadn't bought that house, if only I'd taken that job, if only I hadn't taken that job, if only I'd won lotto, if only I'd pursued that relationship, if only I hadn't pursued that relationship. To me, it's very much the would've, should've, could've card. And what I like to emphasize is the fact that everything that has gone on in your past has brought you to this particular point in time. There is nothing in that past that we can change that will bring us to another point. And you are supposed to be here right now at this point of time, living this particular life for the lessons that need to be learnt on your life path going forward. So what we've got here is this figure. She's sitting there lamenting, really despondent, procrastinating, looking at what could have been. That serves no purpose whatsoever as we go forward in our lives. I mean, yes, okay, occasionally, and even I do still go, oh man, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Why did I? But we cannot stew in that energy. We cannot sit in that energy because all it does is it holds us stuck in this despondent despair where we cannot move forward from. We need to acknowledge the would have, should have, could have, and let them go. Yes, we can make amends for the past, but we cannot change the past. We need to acknowledge the what ifs that might be stewing in our minds and acknowledge that yes, things could have been differently, but they're not and they will never be. And turn our attention to this cup here that is on offer. So what's happened here is, so this is the past, this is the present where we are now going into our future. And what we really do need to do is turn our attention to what we have now, what assets we have, what friends we have that serve us, not those that don't, those friends that serve us, what family we have that loves us, what skills we have that we can bring going into the future. Acknowledge those and look and accept, be grateful, acknowledge them, be grateful for what we do have, and how can we use what we have now to create magic going into the future. So this card comes up so often where we feel that we're stuck, and it is because we are expending all our energy uh, wishing we could change what was. And until a time machine is invented, we can't. And even if a time machine was invented and we went back and changed it, it would mean that you would be simply in a different position. It would not necessarily be a better position. It would just be different. So what we need to do is look at what we have on offer now and what we can do with what we have now going forward. The second card that pops up a lot is this card, the Five of Swords. This is the self-sabotage card. It's the card where you've got the little crow on the shoulder or big crow on the shoulder going me, 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 me in this figure's ear. And this is about the self-talk that we undertake that self-sabotages us going forward. It's the I'm too fat, I'm too thin, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I talk too much, I don't talk enough, I'm a know-it-all, I don't know what I don't know. So it's that self-talk that goes on in our minds, in our subconscious, at a subconscious level that we are not necessarily aware of, that we have this messaging that's sitting in our minds, and it springs out and attacks us at the worst, most vulnerable moments. So really what this self-talk is in our subconscious, it's a groove that has been etched into our subconscious minds of lies that we have told ourselves in the past. And it's one of those lies that we've told ourselves so often, or other people have told us, that it's imprinted in our minds as truth. But it's not truth. It's along the same vein as a particular US politician who thinks if he repeats the lie often enough, it will become truth. But we have done this to ourselves. And what's happened is that we've ingrained these untruths so that they spring out and attack us when we are most vulnerable, and therefore because we're vulnerable, we believe them about ourselves, and it undermines our self-confidence, it undermines our belief in ourselves, and it undermines the reality of who we are. So whenever this card comes up, I advise that we need to rewrite those subconscious thoughts. And the way we do that is to acknowledge them. Don't be in denial. Don't try and shove them down. Don't try and just spit them back out again. We have to acknowledge them, examine them for the untruths and unpack them for the untruths that they are. And then we need to come up, and I'm putting it out there, it's not an easy process. We need to come up with an alternative that is true. If it's I'm too tall, I'm too tall. You're too tall. Come up with something like, isn't it great being tall? I can help other people to reach the top shelf, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. It's very personal, the choice. You're too fat. I am voluptuous and healthy. Whatever works for you as an alternative positive to whatever that subconscious message is, and file that away. Because what will happen is next time that negative, sabotaging, ghastly message comes forward, you can go, oh, hang on, stop. And you pull out that previously ordained, I'm going to call it ordained, truthful message that you have decided for yourself. Now, you need to have those ready to go, because this subconscious, just when it throws these negative messaging out, if you have to think of an alternative there and then, it's too late. It's already done its damage. So you need to have a repertoire already on the side to go as an alternative to these negative messaging. And you pull out that positive message. So when the negative comes, you go, hang on, stop, acknowledge it, and then pull out the positive message and say, no, this is what is the truth. Now, when you start doing that the first couple of weeks, first couple of months, it's going to feel like you're lying to yourself. And it's going, because this ingrained messaging is going to fight back. Trust me, it's going to fight back. And it's going to be feel fake. It's going to feel like you're lying to yourself when you're actually presenting a positive truth. Please, please, please persevere with it. You're going to fall off the wagon occasionally, but persevere with it. And eventually, those truths, those new positive truths, will groove this new messaging into your subconscious. And what will happen is all the other sabotaging negative messaging that falls in behind, you only need to change 3, 2, 3, and everything else will fall in behind and just automatically fall into line with positive messaging as well. And what will happen is you can then step out into this freedom of being confident and in the light, and open to the universal energy, and free from this despondency of this in your ear. And I cannot emphasize enough how these two mind shifts make such a huge difference going forward. I've been there. I can speak from experience. So I just wanted to share the message of those two particular cards, because it does seem to be a reoccurring theme, and I just wanted to get that message out there to the wider audience. So might be back to the normal spread next week, but I hope that you got something out of this today. If you'd like me to go into detail further, please put a comment down below. But love, love, love to you all. Please work on these two processes. Neither of them are easy. Neither of them will happen overnight. But if you can stick with it, with resolve, and it does take pre-planning for both of these shifts to occur. Both shifts are going to feel false to start with, literally fake it till you make it, and the uplifting and light that you will feel once you've gone through these processes, and as I said, it may take weeks, it may take months, you will enter this new life where you look back and you go, oh my goodness, how much time did I waste in these two situations? So thank you for joining me. Love to you all. Take care. Look after yourselves.